Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Maxine. I haven't posted a video on here in a couple of years, so even if you're not new, good to see you again. It's been a while. I'm gonna try to keep this video short because there isn't really that much that I want to say. But the first order of business is my comment section is not the place to be negative or, project your own internal battles onto others. We're here to commiserate. None of us are really having a great time. And the answer to that is not to be rude. So we're not going to do that here. Any negative comments will just be instantly blocked. And that's that. Coming off of that, I just want to say, if you have not seen my We Need to Talk About Avoidant Personality Disorder video, you should watch that first. That is really the cornerstone of the videos that I post here. And to be honest, everything that I said in that video is still true and remains my reality today. I actually don't really have that much to update you on, which is why it's taken me so long to make this video. But watch that video first if you haven't. I will link that. But jumping right into an update from where we left off in the last video, I had posted a video about how I had been diagnosed with ADHD and put on Adderall to treat that. And 2 months into that treatment, I posted a video on how that has affected me and my avoidant personality disorder issues. And at the time, I was really happy. It had given me a lot more energy and just sort of less of that waiting period of anxiously thinking about stuff before doing it. I was just doing more things without thinking so much about doing them, which was helpful for avoidant personality disorder. I also lost a lot of weight, and as anybody with an eating disorder or history of an eating disorder knows, I have always struggled with binge eating, so going on to Adderall and basically completely suppressing my appetite was really, really exciting for me. I was losing weight and not thinking about food for the first time, in my life, basically, not just thinking about food all day. So that was really good. And it was really good for a while. But as I sort of knew from the beginning, hardcore stimulants like that, maybe for some people, I can only speak for myself, but I knew for me that was probably not going to be a very good long-term option. And sure enough, especially after I graduated from college this spring, and life really slowed down. I didn't jump into a job right away, which we'll talk about, but I don't have a lot going on right now, and so taking Adderall when I'm idle just breeds a lot of anxiety. My eating habits were still really bad, even though I appeared healthier and was a lot more comfortable in the way that I looked. My eating habits were still not good. So basically, I'm still prescribed Adderall, and I still take it occasionally. But it wasn't the magic pill for me. And I have a few theories as to why, and we don't have to really get into that so much here today. But the ADHD topic does sort of segue into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is autism. My second biggest video on this channel has been private for the last year or more, because I had made a video about avoidant personality disorder and autism and how I was convinced that I was autistic until I was diagnosed with avoidant personality disorder. And I talked about the similarities and differences and my experience navigating that. And I put that video on private because there were a few comments, but also kind of on my own, I had to come to the conclusion that I don't think that those two things are mutually exclusive, not by a lot. and I wouldn't really be that surprised if they were very, very comorbid. I would not be surprised if what appeared as avoidant personality disorder and ADHD in me could actually be avoidant personality disorder and autism. I will never know that because I live in the United States and it is really difficult to get assessed for autism here, especially as an adult, especially as an unemployed adult that does not have a lot of money. So I can make a new video kind of deep diving into that if you guys are interested. But yeah, that original video, I was sort of saying, hey, look, it might not be autism, it might be avoidant personality disorder. Whereas now, I think it's more likely that maybe neurodivergent individuals are perhaps more likely to also have avoidant personality disorder. So I don't know, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of misinformation, but also a lot of like spreading information around these neurodivergencies these days. So I'm only speculating, but I very well could also be autistic and I would not be surprised by that. And so finally, real quick, I will just touch on how I'm doing, and I want to tell you a story that is really exemplary of the negative feedback loop experience that is having avoidant personality disorder. So when I graduated high school and went to college for the first time at 17, and my mom quit making my dentist appointments for me, I quit going to the dentist. Because why would you do that if you had a choice in the matter? And so through this avoidant pattern of behavior, avoiding dentists, avoiding doctors, avoiding having to even figure out insurance, there was a 12-year period where I did not go to the dentist at all. Finally, a couple years ago, I did end up going to the dentist because I had a horrible toothache. Keep in mind, I also have, or at the time had, all 4 wisdom teeth. Never had those taken care of when I was younger, which is interesting too because I wasn't afraid of the surgery or the pain or anything. I was specifically scared of saying something or doing something humiliating while coming out of anesthesia. So if that doesn't tell you a lot about avoidant personality disorder, then I don't know what does. But My cat says hi. But anyway, so I finally had to go to the dentist because I had a horrible toothache. And by that point, my wisdom tooth down here had decayed the molar in front of it beyond even saving with a root canal. It had to be extracted, my wisdom tooth and my molar. And so that was like traumatizing, but I thought, okay, I'm gonna take good care of my teeth now so this doesn't happen again. And I had this wisdom tooth pulled. This one I couldn't, and this one they wanted to wait. But anyway, then a year or year and a half or however long later, just recently, my top molar on this side, the one above the missing one on the bottom, super erupted, they call it. Basically, it came down because it had no opposing force below it. And that started causing issues, and I had to have that tooth pulled as well. And so, again, because I live in the United States, I cannot afford to get those teeth replaced right now. It's very expensive to have implants put in, and that's not covered by anything usually. And it has triggered this obsession that I have with the asymmetry in my face, which is something I was always a little bit aware of, but I am now hyper aware of, and I'm taking like selfies all day long, analyzing it. And that, in combination with having just turned 30 and having like a whole crisis about how I've made no real improvements in my life, and the whole second half of my 20s was wasted sitting in a single room avoiding life. And now I'm 30 and I'm losing teeth, and I'm just getting fatter and uglier and older. And I laugh about it, but it's like not been easy. It's not been easy. It's not been good. And I don't have any advice. I don't have any advice for this video. This is why I didn't want to film or post this. But I know that when I am struggling, sometimes people that try to give me advice and inspire me just piss me off. And all that I really want is to commiserate with other people that are struggling in the same way that I am. Because as many years as I have wasted protecting myself from these imaginary scenarios of failure that I'm so hung up on, I still have hope that it can get better and that it will eventually get better. It's hard for me to accept the fact that I have to be the one to do that nothing is going to change unless I make a change. But I know that I've done it before and I can do it again. It's just not been easy. It's not been easy. And I guess I just wanted you guys to know that if it's not been easy for you either, then at the very least, you are not alone in that, and we can talk about it here. So leave a comment down below if something has been working for you, but also leave one if you've been having a really bad time, and we can just complain about it together, and maybe my next video will be more helpful. Goodbye.